Hello, everyone. Welcome to the webinar today. My name is Judy. I'm the project manager for the Travel Goods Association. With me today, I have Kat, who's our head of marketing, and also Jessica, who is our trade show director. We're really excited because the show is right around the corner. We're just a couple weeks away. So today we're going to be covering some of the logistics, some of the last minute things that you need to know, and answering any questions that you have at the end. A few housekeeping things though. This is being recorded and we are going to take a few questions at the end of the session. So please make sure you're dropping any questions that you have into the chat and we'll hit those up at the very end. I want to give a quick thank you to all of our sponsors. This year, Eagle Creek is our title sponsor and as well as our Diamond members. So thank you so much for all of your support. Today, what you can expect is everything you need to know before you come to Salt Lake. So we're going to go over the show overview. We're going to talk about the app today, which is probably the most important part. We're going to talk about what your week kind of looks like and any important reminders. Again, Q&A at the end. It is the final countdown. If anyone's keeping track, it's like 20 days, just in case anyone's wondering. But we're almost there. So before you arrive, make sure you're doing some stuff like downloading the app, completing your profile on the app, building out your schedules. You need to register or RSVP for some key events that are happening, and definitely start requesting those meetings so that you can have things lined up ahead of time. The more prepared you are before you come, the more success you'll have at the show. So from here, I'm going to turn it over to Jessica, and she's going to talk all about the app and answer any questions you guys might have from there.
Hi, everyone. I just wanted to let you know, as far as the app is concerned, you're going to get an email this afternoon inviting you to download the app. And when we talk about the app, there are a lot of things that are involved in it. It gives you a place to find the show schedule. It is continuing to be updated, by the way. The app itself will continue to be updated all the way up until the show. The show schedule is also, we're adding a few things in there that are coming here at the last minute. So the schedule is in there. The attendee list is in there. It's where you can connect and schedule your one-on-one meetings. You can look at exhibitors who's going to be at the show. You can see their booth location. And you can also build your own personal agenda in the app. So you can save sessions and have a section in the app that says My Schedule so that you can separate what you're doing from just the main schedule. So that's kind of what we're going to go over a little bit today. We're going to do pretty high level. Like we're going to give you what you need to get started, and then you'll want to spend some time in it kind of poking around. There's really no way that any of us want to spend like all the time that it would take to kind of walk through every aspect. But we're going to give you everything that you need to know to get started so that you can use it and start planning your time in Salt Lake City. So the first thing that you're going to get is an email this afternoon that looks like this. It gives you three options for downloading the app. We do have a web version of the app. So for those of you who are like, hey, I don't want to be on my phone yet, dealing with the app, you can look at it on the web and it has all the functionality on the web version. So you can do that as you prepare. And then also a link to the Apple App Store and Google Play Store, depending on your phone. So it will be very easy for you. And then all you're going to do is when you download it, you will log in using the email address that you registered with. And once you do that, it will send you a code or a magic link and it will log you right in. So you don't even have to worry about a password. It's pretty simple, but you have to start with the email address that you used to register. So if some of you registered, let's say you're a TGA exhibitor, and you registered your entire team, each team member had to be registered under a separate email address. So that's what they will log in with. So yeah, next slide, please, Judy. Okay, if you're looking at the web version, it's going to look a lot like this. You'll see buttons for the attendees, the speakers, the exhibitors, and you can just tap on each one and go in and fool around, see what's there. You can filter the attendee list, and we'll talk about that a little bit more because there may be specific people that you're looking for. And also there's a button here that gives you AI recommendations. So if you're like, I really want to see who they would recommend so that I don't miss that. That's an option for you as well. And then at the bottom, there's a discussion feed. Kind of think of it like a Facebook wall where you can go in and say, hey, I'm coming from, I see Rod in the chat over here, just like Rod in the chat saying hello from West Palm Beach. So that would be an example of something you might want to put in the discussion feed. Even when you're on site, like if you want to go to lunch and you want to find other people to go to lunch with you, it's a great place to just jump in and make connections with people. You'll see on the left is your personal profile. Or this one's mine, but Your personal profile will be on the left. You can edit it from there. Also, if you are an exhibitor, we you can see where it says TGA Travel Goods underneath my name. That's because I'm listed under the TGA brand, and you can go to your exhibit listing from there, so you can edit that, and anyone on your team who's registered can edit that exhibit listing from there as well. So it's all in one place, and it's pretty simple to use as well. So this is the web version. Then we also have the phone version. It's going to look just like a condensed version of the same thing. The buttons are very clear and easy to use. There's not a ton, so it shouldn't be very confusing. But they are all the same buttons, and you just would go into them and do the same things that we just talked about on the web version. When you are getting into the app itself, you're going to, once again, can't say it enough, you're going to use the email address that you registered with. Chances are it's the same email where you're receiving emails about TravelCon or the TGA show. So that is where you are going to start with. And then they will send you a login code or a magic link, and then you will just go from there. So no password is required. And we've already gone over, sorry, I got ahead of myself when I went over all the buttons earlier, but those are the buttons that are available to you in the different sections. And we're going to talk about meetings in just a second, but this is where all of those things, you will find the home page of the app, basically. If you look on this particular mobile version at the bottom, you'll see there's a home button. You'll see there's a bell. The second one is a bell, and that is where your notifications will come in. So if someone requests a meeting with you, that's where you'll see that. If you go over one more, that's the DMs, basically. You can connect with someone, reach out to them even before you want to schedule a meeting with them. And then in the bottom right is your profile. So you would go there to edit your profile on the phone version. Okay. If you're completing your profile, like I said on the mobile version that we were just looking at, it's at the bottom right. If you look at this one, at the first photo, there is a shadow of a person at the bottom. That's where you would click to get to this page. And I want to point out a few things for you. On my profile at the top, you'll see where it says edit profile. That's what you would touch. And then you would get the screen on the right. And so like when you look at my profile all the way down, you see these edit buttons. So you can edit the photo, you can edit your about me section. You can edit your information. And I really want to draw attention to the information right here because right there where it's circled that says brand, when you edit that, you have a choice between being a creator, a brand, or a retailer. And so when you select that, that is really helpful because when you're looking at the attendee list, you can filter the full attendee list based on creator, brand, or retailer. So you definitely want to make sure that you fill that out in your profile because that helps other people find you. If you are a brand wanting to connect with the retailers at the TGA show, you would filter the full attendee list for retailers and it would just show you those attendees. If you are a creator who wants to connect with brands, you would filter for the brands. So then you are able to see all the representatives and their brands and you're able to request meetings with them. So that is a very important part of your profile that you're going to want to fill out. Then you can also fill out your social media, your contact details. There will be some things that are automatically populated for you on here from your point of registration. So everybody's profile looks a little bit different. If you're a creator, and you on the the when you filled out your you bought your pass.
Registration.
Sorry, words. Thank you.
Registration.
When you bought your pass, there were things like your audience size, your platforms. Those should be auto-populated for you in your profile. If you are a brand, like the type of brand you are, the work that you do, some of that will be auto-populated, and then you can automatically add more to it as well. One other thing I wanted to call out when you're editing your profile is if you are an exhibitor, you see where the arrow is on this page, that shows you where your company's profile is and your exhibitor center. So you can go in and edit your exhibitor listing from here as well. We talked about where you could do it from the web earlier. Then you can also do that here in the mobile version as well. So that's how you would complete your profile. What you put there is up to you, but there are some things that will be filled out for you ahead of time based on your registration. Now, the meeting process. So if you want to schedule meetings, it doesn't matter if you want to schedule them, who you are and who you want to schedule them with. You are able to schedule meetings with anyone in attendance. So if we're using Judy's profile here as an example, you'll see where it says book a meeting on her profile and her her meeting slate is there, and that's just for Tuesday. But then where it's circled says there are more meeting opportunities. So then you would get what the second photo is, which is the calendar version. So on the calendar version, you can see the 3 days of the show. You can see the 15-minute time slots that she has available, and then you can book them. You can choose one of those, and then the bottom picture would pop up that shows you have two options for where to meet with her. You can meet with her at her exhibit booth, or you can meet with her at the tables near the show stage. Sometimes people are going to want to choose the exhibit booth because it's just easiest. You need to be there, you need to be present if you're the exhibitor. Sometimes there's enough staff in the exhibit booth that you're like, hey, let's just go over here to the tables and have our meeting. That's just a little bit easier so we're not distracted by people being around. Either way, you have options for that. And so you can choose that. If you're a creator and you don't know, you can ask the exhibitor where they want to meet with you, or the exhibitor, if they're reaching out to you, they can choose the location. And then you can also send them on the final picture on the right, you can send them a DM of who you are, why you're reaching out to them. Because it's one thing to send them a meeting request, but they really need to know who you are and more about you and why you want to connect with them. It helps them to kind of drill down and know if this is a meeting that they think is valuable for them as well. Remember, meetings are double opt-in. So in this case, I had reached out to Judy and I had requested a meeting, and Judy now has to respond and confirm that meeting. So in this example here, you'll see that it's her meeting is pending, and it says that Judy has not answered you. All meetings have to be confirmed by the other party. A pending request doesn't always mean that they're ignoring you. They may not even be in the app yet. They're listed in the app, but they may not have set up or finished filling out their profile yet. So give people a few days to do so. If you make a meeting request with someone, it will expire after 3 days. So you're going to want to go back and check and then resubmit it if they didn't give you a definite no that they don't want to meet with you. It may just mean they hadn't downloaded the app and gotten in there yet, and they may want to meet with you later. If we're talking about best practices and polite things to do, it would be polite to give them a DM when you decline their request. For example, if you're an exhibitor and you only have so many meeting slates that you have available to do this with, then you may just want to say, hey, just come by the booth. I'm out of meeting time slots, but I would love for you to just stop by the booth when you get a chance and visit with me. Or if you're a creator, you could say, hey, can I stop by the booth? Even though we can't schedule a meeting, I'd love to talk to you. Just something where it doesn't leave anyone hanging. There's some clarity for everyone that this meeting is or is not moving forward. And it's not because they aren't interested. It's just because they weren't able to schedule it. One of the things that you can do on your own meeting slate is you can block off time. So you can go through the schedule and decide, here's where I'm going to have meetings already. Here's where I'm going to a session. Here's where I'm going to be at lunch. And you can control your own schedule. You can block those times off. And then that way someone cannot request a meeting for you during that time. For example, when I was scheduling a meeting with Judy, for the purposes of this webinar, one of the things that I noticed is Judy's already marked on the schedule that she's attending a session at this time. Now, I could still request a meeting with her. So that is where I would say to Judy, hey, you probably want to go in and block off that session time because I can still try to request a meeting with you during that time. So you want to block it off when you're not available. And then also when you mark things on your schedule, like as far as sessions go, those also show up to the person who's requesting a meeting. And then you can accept or decline the invitations, and like at the circle at the bottom, you'll get notifications when someone has requested a meeting with you. It's pretty simple. Once you do one or two, you'll have a meeting slate just like this one on the left-hand side where it shows Judy's schedule now, and this is a confirmed meeting she has with me. It's really pretty simple once it's done. You can cancel just as easily too. So some of you have actually logged into the app already because once we moved email addresses over, some people were like, oh, they can get in there now. So some of you are already in there. The rest of you are waiting for us to send an email that's coming this afternoon that says, here's how you log into the app. It's ready for you. It's time to go. You can get in, set up your profile, upload your photo. By the way, be sure and put a photo. That tells people, hey, they're in the app, they're active, they're ready to start connecting. You can save your sessions, start scheduling your one-on-one meetings with each other.
Also, going back to the photo, I think it's so important because then people can actually see who they're going to meet with. That way, when I'm walking up to a booth, I'm not just like going in blind. I don't know who I'm looking for. So that's a great tip as well.
One more thing I want to mention,
Mhm.
exhibitors, anyone who is an exhibitor who is registered for the show, your profile is attached to your exhibitor listing already. If you do not, if you get in the app and you see that you are not attached to your exhibitor profile, that means, or well, actually, you won't be in the app. Sorry, let me back that up. Anyone who is registered as an exhibitor for the show, they are attached to their exhibitor profile. If you are not registered yet, you will not be attached until you are registered. So, exhibitors, we need you to register because that's how you get in the app and get going. You're not going to receive an email to get into the app until you've registered. So, just FYI on that as well.
Thanks, Jess. That was really nice. I'm super excited about the app this year. Kat and I were actually talking about it way better than what we've had in the past years. And so, huge shout out to Jess there because she made all that possible. So, thank you, Jessica. Next, we're going to talk about the show, what to look for, your timeline, all that good stuff. The show this year is a little different. We're having a cocktail and reception party on Monday, June 22nd. I'll talk a little bit about that in just a minute. So it's the day before our show floor opens. So just keep in mind, if you have not registered, or excuse me, if you have not RSVP'd for that yet, please do ahead of time so we know how much stuff we need and who we can expect there. Tuesday, June 23rd, is when the show opens. We also have a breakfast that morning, as well as master classes, which we'll talk about in just a second, with Jimmy Chin and Alex Honnold and all the cool people that are coming. Wednesday, we're looking at just more education, networking. Obviously, the show floor will be open, so all the meetings will be going down. And then Thursday will be the final day, and we are doing a chunk of the awards that evening or afternoon. So here is that launch event and the cocktail party that we were talking about. So it's Monday the 22nd from 5 to 7 at the Salt Palace. We'll have it labeled, I'm assuming, where you're going to come in at. We can send out some more information as we get a little bit closer to the show as well. But this is the kickoff before our week really begins. So it's a cool place to kind of network and chat before we get down to the details and really start that business on the show floor. So we're also doing the product launch presentations then. Last year we did the product launch event day one in the morning. This time we're going to do it during the cocktail party, so you'll be able to see a chunk of the brands that are participating as well as what you can look for on the show floor. Again, RSVPs are definitely needed. And apparently you can RSVP in the app. I actually didn't know that. So thanks for adding that, Jess. Here are the master classes that we were talking about that are happening on June 23rd. So Jimmy Chin, Jim Morrison, and of course Alex Honnold. These are some really great outdoor speakers that we're going to be having. They're some world-class athletes, and we're really excited to have them. So make sure you're keeping an eye on this. If you haven't registered for them yet, exhibitors, you have some passes. I think buyers even have some passes. So make sure you get in there and you're registering for this so that we have a seat saved for you. We're going to talk about adventure games. We kind of alluded to this last time and announced it. This year, we're going to be having this hosted by the Jergies, so it's super exciting. You can win a bunch of prizes. $100,000 in prizes is kind of what we're looking at collectively. So they're all travel-inspired challenges, really cool stuff to watch and participate in. And I want to be very clear that everybody can participate in this. So if you're an exhibitor and you have some free time and you just need to like walk around or something. This is something fun that you can go do while you're also networking and kind of having fun. I have a huge competition bone in my body, so you'll probably see me over there a couple times throughout the day. There's going to be giveaways every hour. So the Jergies will be right by the show stage if you're looking at the floor plan, and that's where I believe they're doing all the giveaways and sessions every hour. We have some really great brands that are sponsoring this too. So Ricardo, Beverly Hills, Encase, Noble, Osprey are just a few of the people that are sponsoring these. So look out for some cool stuff coming that way. We're going to talk about TGA and TravelCon. Obviously, we know that this is really big to have both of these worlds together, so super excited for that. Just if you need to jump in at any point here, please let me know. But we have a bunch of travel creators on site, which is super fun. We've kind of teased this in the past, but having a bigger audience this year is really cool. So make sure you're expanding your network opportunities and really getting to know some of the people that you can have business opportunities with. We have a lot of creator-focused programming. Jess has worked really hard to get that ready for everybody, so make sure you're checking out the schedule there. Lots of new opportunities for everyone. I
Judy,
saw you unmuted
yeah,
yourself.
sorry, I did. So I want to point out a couple of things. When you're going through the app and looking at the schedule, we've labeled sessions as TGA, TravelCon, or TGA and TravelCon, meaning doesn't matter which one. You can go to any of them that you want to go to. That label just kind of helps you understand who the focus of that content actually is. But there's so much value even if you're not that person, like if you're not a creator or you're not a brand only, there's value for both. So just know that you're not limited to any of the sessions. Like you can go to any that you would like to, except for the master classes. Those require separate registration, and that's labeled in there. Everything else, even if it says TravelCon only and you're a brand, or if it says TGA, it doesn't say only, but it says TGA and you're a creator, you're welcome to go to that. For instance, Beth from Circana is going to be talking about the state of the travel industry. We've labeled it as both TGA and TravelCon because even though it is super valuable to the TGA and brands that are doing work in the space, travel creators may want to create content around some of the data that she's giving. So just know that you are welcome to go to any sessions. Just the label on them is just help you identify who the primary audience should be for that. One of the things I also want to mention for creators is a lot of times creators, when they go to events where they're connecting with brands, there's a very limited meeting slate. They do like an hour or two of meetings, and that's the focus time for one-on-one meetings. This year, your meetings can take place anytime with these brands across the 3 days of the show. So you don't have this like very small meeting slate where you've got to get in there and beat other creators to have the meetings. There's enough to go around for everyone. So just know that as you're looking at profiles and scheduling meetings, you have 15-minute meeting slots throughout all 3 days. So there is time to work your schedule, make sure that you're going to the things that you want to go to and you're not missing anything. Same thing for brands. I know a lot of you guys historically, from what I understand about TGA, you've scheduled your meetings off-site in a different way of scheduling them. This gives you an opportunity to have everything in one place so that you're not having to manage like the schedule and your meetings in separate spots. So, and it's really easy to use. One other thing, sorry, Judy, didn't mean to hijack, but
Nope.
one other thing to mention is for brands, we do have hosted creators who are attending the show. We have about 23 hosted creators who are attending the show who are in a lot of different niches within the travel space, and we're going to send you an email just to let you know a little bit more about them. They have committed to 5 meetings each for being there, part of being hosted. So we're going to send you an email just to call that out to you as well, just so that you can connect with them as part of their commitment to being there. Okay, there you go.
Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, something else that's new this year. I'm really excited to announce this one. We're doing a Built for Adventure contest is what we're calling it. So we're going to have a space for overland vehicles, different rigs, trailers, all the cool stuff. We know that travel isn't just jumping on an airplane, especially lately, right? Adventure is definitely taken off in a different aspect. So we are partnering with Expedition Superstore, which is a store located in Utah, and they are so gracious and will be doing a $5,000 gift card to Expedition Superstore for the winner of this contest. So basically, you get to vote on site for your favorite rig while you're there. More details are going to be coming out on that, exactly how to do it, when the cutoff is going to be. But that third day, someone's going to get a really cool prize. So if you're interested, or if you know somebody that might be interested in participating, we're only taking about 35, I believe, vehicles. So make sure you reach out to us, email us at info@travelgoods.org, or you can email me, Judy, at travelgoods.org, and I'll make sure you get the information so that you can get entered in there. Jess kind of touched on the sessions already a little bit, so I'm just going to breeze through this real quick. Just a few call outs, obviously, state of the industry with Beth from Circana. We're going to do some government updates with Nate Herman. We have a ton on creator partnerships, marketing, and retail trends. So make sure you're checking out that schedule and getting in there. There's some really, really good information in there. Some of it you might have heard before, but definitely we try and hit on the stuff that can really help take your brand to the next level. And our final checklist. So again, everything that you need to know before you come, make sure you're downloading the app, creating your profile, register your team or yourself, if you're a one-man team, make sure you get in there because that's going to help us get you into the app. RSVP for the cocktail reception, make sure you're reviewing your schedule and also the requests for meetings that are coming in. And then obviously make sure your travel plans are in order because we want to make sure we see you guys there. And that is it. That's all I have for you. So Q&A. I don't know if anyone's dropped anything in the chat, Kat, but you can help me kind of filter those and we'll answer as we can.
One question we've been getting, Judy, is about badges. This is not in the
Mm,
chat, but people are asking if we're sending badges. Our brands are asking if we're sending badges ahead of time. You will print your badge out when you arrive at check-in. You'll use your QR code that we'll send you in an email right before you arrive, and you will scan your QR code and print your badge out at check-in. So you won't be receiving those early.
that's a
I
good
also
call out.
I also noticed in the chat a couple of things that came up earlier. Mary mentioned she would love to be able to upload her media kit. So I'm assuming Mary is a creator. So one of the things, while there's not necessarily a space for files in your profile, there is a link for a website. So if your media kit is web-based, you can link to your website or you could link to your media kit if you'd rather do that, because a lot of times the media kit will also lead them back to your website. So that's one workaround, but there's just not a place to do files. I also saw Troy's about adding the media journalist category, and yes, that is on the list of things that are continuing to be added to the categories as well. So we're going to get that added later this afternoon, so you can edit your profile then. So
It looks like Henry
Um,
has a question.
okay, go for it, Henry, if you want to unmute yourself.
mhm.
Mm, or
Well,
drop it
I
in the
can
chat.
answer.
That might help too.
He asked about a Q&A for speakers and their sessions. So they are able, if everyone will have that, speakers are able to say if they want to offer a Q&A at the end of their session. They have an allotted amount of time, so it really depends on what all they're trying to cover and if they think that there's enough time for them to do it. So that'll be a case by case basis.
Awesome. Mary, I see your hand up, and then we'll get to the ones that are in the chat. If you want to unmute yourself, you can go for it.
Hi, can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Thanks for
And
joining us.
yes, thank you for hosting this session. This was very informative, and I feel much more prepared for the event now. So thank you. Quick question in regards to the FAM tours that we had registered for. If we have to like make any changes or if we needed to possibly not attend one because of registering for another one, who do we email in regards to that?
So we sent you an email confirming your spot in FAM tours whenever you applied for them. And then there's a note in there that the deadline to let us know if there are any changes is June 5th, so that no one incurs any charges. We want to be fair to our hosts who are taking care of this for us. So June 5th is the deadline to let us know, hey, I need to cancel or I need to swap to a different one or whatever. And you can just hit reply to that email that we sent you because it goes to our info@TravelCon email account.
I got you. I got you. And then it's not those ones that we registered for, they're not going to show up in the app. I'd have to just
No,
go through
yeah.
my emails and see which ones I registered for.
Yes, unfortunately, they're not going to be able to show up in the app, so that you will have to kind of manage your FAMs on the shoulder days on your own. Sorry.
No worries. No worries. Understandable. Thank you.
Awesome. That was a great question. I'm glad we touched on that.
Hi.
Uh,
David, I can see you waving. Yeah, Judy, I don't know if you see him on your screen, but David's waving. I think
Yeah,
that's.
thanks. I can't find the hand raising button, so I'm using my real hand. Thanks. Hi, guys. My question is about capturing people's badges. Can we use our phone scanners, or do you have some special proprietary device to do that? I sent you guys an email last night, and we got an email from somebody who wants to sell us all the attendees. That's not what I'm asking for. I'm asking for people that we're talking to, like how we capture their badges.
Yes. Okay. This is a great question, and I have several answers. So give me a second. Okay. First of all, let's start with this. Anyone who's trying to sell you a list for TGA or TravelCon is spam. We do not give out those email addresses, and that is a problem in the events industry. And the only way we can really combat it is education. In fact, Kat's working on an email now to reach out to you guys to let you know that is not us. We don't know who that is, and we did not give them any list. You can only, they're
So glad
very,
I asked.
yeah. So the list is in the app, which is what registered attendees get. So
Thank you.
FYI on that. So thanks for bringing that up as well.
Sure.
Secondly, when it comes to lead retrieval, if you're an exhibitor, you will be getting an email soon, I would say within the week, of an opportunity for lead retrieval as an add-on if you do want that. It is not baked into the app for you. It is an add-on, and so we will send that. We kind of just roll this out carefully so it's not over. I mean, it's already a lot of information and can be overwhelming to begin with. So we start with, let's just get everybody in the app first. And then after we feel like we've gotten a little bit further down that road, then we'll send, hey, if you want to do lead retrieval on site, here's a way for you to add that on. And here's the cost and all of that. I think I took a look. I saw your email this morning, and I think to clarify if I'm understanding this correctly or not. You're wondering if you can use your own equipment to scan the QR codes that are in the app, and that is proprietary, so you wouldn't be able to do that. What I would say is you are not required to use the lead retrieval that is available to you. Like I said, it's an add-on. If you want to capture leads in your own way at your booth, some people do a giveaway and they have them scan a QR code, or they have them fill out an iPad, or they do whatever for that to capture that information. You are welcome to do that. If you want it to where it's just done for you and easy using their QR code in the app, then that would be an add-on. But you are welcome to do something, bring whatever your team likes to use at shows to capture. You're welcome to do that. We don't have any restrictions on that. So
Thank
you
you.
you have
Yeah,
options there.
great. Yeah, we're planning to do that. So I guess then my question boils down to what information is on like on their badge? I presume
hmm
I've done 100 trade shows, but never this
hmm
one.
hmm
So their name, their company affiliation, where they're located. So if we're talking to them and we say,
hmm
picture your badge to follow up with you, it would
hmm
work like that. But there's no scannable QR code
Correct.
in their badge that would give us the data. We would just have to capture an image of their badge.
Correct. The QR code is going to lead to the app and that proprietary QR code. So it's not going to be one that's going to be a general one that get the information. But if you took a picture of their badge and you looked at it later, looked at the profile, you would see in their profile, their website, their contact info, if they listed all of that. It's just a little more manual and you have to work a little harder at that, but it is an
Yeah.
option.
So how much would it cost to use yours, and what benefits would that provide
We'll
for?
send that we're still like working on that with Swap Card. I have a meeting with them about lead retrieval right after this. So I'll send an email once I have all of that information for you.
Okay, great. Thanks so
Okay.
much.
Bree asked, is it possible to link two social platforms? I have my main account and an outdoor and travel military community that I'd love to list those. I also noted there isn't an option to link TikTok accounts.
Yeah. So, the thing about event apps is they never have everything you want. And that's just the nature of the event app game. Sometimes they lean very corporate and they only have LinkedIn. And sometimes they have several social media profiles, and this one has more than most. But yes, one of the things that you'll see under social media is there are quite a few on here, including like Vimeo and Tumblr, but no TikTok. As far as multiples, no, the only way I would think you could do that is either to link to your media kit, like we were talking about earlier with Mary, to put it in your bio section, which still has a limit of certain number of characters, and it's not going to link. But if you wanted to put that there, but to do more than one, you really are limited to one Facebook, one X, one YouTube, all of those things. So sorry.
Awesome. I think we hit everything. Oh, Jess, I did have one question. If
hmm
someone is requesting a meeting from me in the app,
hmm
do I get a different kind of notification? So maybe I don't have my notification on for the app on my phone necessarily. Do I get like an email? Does it tell me, hey, someone's trying to request a meeting with you?
Yes, you will get an email. I don't know if you saw. So you can turn on your notifications, like she was talking
Mhm.
about. So you get push notifications for it. You can also adjust your notifications to get email notifications as well. So if you would prefer to just keep everything in email, you will get an email. It will not be in real time. It's usually within a few hours, or maybe if it's in the morning, it'll be in the afternoon. Basically, kind of like, hey, you might have forgotten or you might have missed this. Here's to let you know. If you can take action on it, and then you may not get the email after that, but you will. If you have not taken action on it, you will get an email. So.
Danny said, so stoked. Just saying, weird question. What do we wear? That's a great question, Danny. Wear what you're comfortable in. I think it's a little different This year, rather than past shows for TGA, it's always been very B2B, so more business casual leaning. However, we have a ton of outdoor companies and people and different walks of life coming to our show this year. So by all means, wear what you're comfortable in, for sure.
And TravelCon has always been the same. Wear what you're comfortable in. Wear comfortable shoes. Bring some cough drops for all the talking that you're going, and peppermints for all the talking that you're going to be doing. Bring something that might be a little warm because indoors with the convention center it can get a little cool. So you may want to bring a jacket just to have it with you. But yeah, you are going to be doing some professional conversations, but also as a creator, you don't normally wear a suit and tie, then don't wear a suit and tie. Don't feel like you have to dress up. Be comfortable, but also, do whatever you're comfortable with for business meetings. So,
That was a great question. We were actually just talking about that, so I appreciate you bringing that up.
Have you guys ever seen Jim Morrison or Alex talk before?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah,
Not in person. I mean, I've seen like, their stuff
Zach
online.
and I were just at Outside Days. We went to their talk. Mind blowing. They're
Yeah. We're
amazing.
super excited to have them. Jennifer Broom is hosting that. We love Jennifer, and she's going to do an amazing job. I'm excited to see that interview. All right, guys, I think that's everything. We're going to wrap up. This, again, was recorded, so we will be sending out a recording, I believe, probably sometime tomorrow. Kat, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but usually it's about 24 hours after this. We'll get something out to you guys so you can watch it. Real quick, Satbeer just asked, how far is the cocktail event from the badge pickup location? That's a great question.
around the corner. Like, and by around the corner, I mean in the hall in the same building around the corner. So, yeah, it's right there.
Yeah, it'll all be right there. So good time. That was a great question, too. All right, everyone. I will see you in a few weeks. Make sure that you stop and say hi. We'll all probably be running around, but make sure you stop us and we love to meet you guys face to face and in person. So thanks so much for joining us today, and we'll see you soon.